Modern skyscrapers fall down after 30 years, but there's a bridge in China that's 1,400 years old, and it still carries cars today. Here's the crazy part. The same people who built this amazing bridge also created disasters that killed millions. Disasters so bad, they destroyed entire kingdoms. You clicked this video because you want the truth. And what I'm about to show you will shock you. These ancient builders knew secrets we've lost, secrets that could save your life. By the end, you'll see why old buildings are stronger than new ones. And you'll learn about disasters they don't teach in school. This video is based on a rigorous analysis of archaeological reports, ancient engineering specifications, and modern scientific studies. The truth about ancient Chinese building? It's not what you think. We're talking about China before 1912. Back then, buildings weren't just buildings. They meant life or death, power or weakness, rise or fall of empires. Today, I'll show you 3 disasters that killed millions. So bad they changed history forever. But I'll also reveal 4 building miracles, so advanced that modern engineers can't figure them out. This isn't just old history. This is lost knowledge. Knowledge that could change how we build today. And we're losing it fast. Ready? Let's dive in. Disaster number 1, when the world's greatest wall became its greatest weakness. Here's what they don't tell you in school. The Great Wall didn't protect China. It trapped China. Think about this, the most expensive building project ever. Millions of workers died making it. Whole kingdoms went broke paying for it. And for what? The early parts were built cheap, rushed jobs. Politicians wanted it done fast, so they cut corners everywhere. These weak spots became death traps. But here's the proof that'll shock you. In 1644, the Ming dynasty fell. Did enemies break through the wall? Nope. General Wu Sangui just opened the gates. He let the enemy walk right in. Why did this happen? The wall made people feel safe when they weren't. Instead of building armies that could move and fight, China spent everything on a wall that one traitor could open. Picture this. You build the world's strongest front door, but you leave all your windows open. That's exactly what the Great Wall was. Here's your mind-blow moment. All that money spent on the wall? It could have built 10 armies. Mobile armies. Armies that would have crushed any invader. The Great Wall didn't just fail. It made China weaker. But wait, if you think the Great Wall story is crazy, the next disaster will terrify you. Disaster number 2, the river that killed more people than all wars combined. The Yellow River has a nickname, China's Sorrow. You're about to learn why. Here's the problem. This river carries more dirt than any river on Earth. So much dirt that it flows above the land around it. Imagine a river flowing uphill. That's this river. Ancient engineers built huge walls to hold back floods. But they were fighting nature itself. Every year, more dirt piled up. Every year, the river got higher. Every year, the pressure got worse. Then came 1887. The walls broke. The flood killed up to 2 million people, more than most wars in history. The disaster area was bigger than England. But here's the really scary part. This flood didn't just kill people. It destroyed trust in the government. People stopped believing their leaders could protect them. Revolution came within decades. Get this. Modern engineers still can't control this river. We have satellites, computer models, steel and concrete, and we still can't stop it. Here's your reality check. Ancient Chinese engineers weren't dumb. They faced something impossible, a river that breaks physics, a river that changes course like a snake, a river that carries enough dirt to bury cities. The Yellow River taught China a hard truth. Sometimes nature wins. Sometimes the best engineering fails, but rivers weren't the only killers. Sometimes the failures were smaller, but just as deadly. Disaster. Number 3, when cultural heritage crumbled in plain sight. Picture this scene. You're a master builder in 1375. You're fixing one of China's most important buildings, the Ming Dynasty Drum Tower. This isn't just any building. This is history itself. Then it falls down, right in front of you. Centuries of knowledge, gone in seconds. Here's why this matters. Old Chinese wooden buildings weren't like modern ones. They needed constant care by skilled workers. Knowledge had to pass from father to son perfectly. One broken link meant disaster. The tower collapse showed something scary. Even master builders could lose important skills. Knowledge that took centuries to learn could vanish in one lifetime. Think about it this way. What if the recipe for concrete was only spoken, never written, and one day, everyone who knew it died? That's what happened here. Here's your aha moment. These wooden buildings weren't built to last forever. They were built to be fixed by people who understood them completely. When that understanding died, buildings became death traps. The wood rotted from weather and age. But worse, It rotted from human forgetfulness. This wasn't just a building failure, it was a knowledge failure. But here's where everything changes. The same people who made these disasters also built miracles that still amaze us today. Wonder number 1. The palace that survived 600 years of disasters. Let me tell you about the most amazing building project you've never heard of, the Forbidden City. Built in the early 1500s, still standing, still working, still beautiful. But here's what makes it incredible. In 1976, a massive earthquake hit China. It killed 240,000 people. Modern concrete buildings fell like toys. Skyscrapers pancaked. Whole cities were flattened. The Forbidden City? It bent and survived with barely any damage. How is this possible? The secret is in the joints. The Forbidden City uses 0 nails in its main buildings. 0. Instead, ancient carpenters made wooden joints so perfect that buildings could bend like living things. Modern buildings are stiff. When earthquakes hit, they crack and break. But the Forbidden City moves with the earthquake. It bends but doesn't break. Here's another mind-blowing feature: the triple-layer drainage system. 600 years ago, Chinese engineers designed drains so good that the Forbidden City has never flooded. Not once. Despite centuries of storms. Think about this. Modern cities flood all the time. New York floods. London floods. Tokyo floods. But a 600-year-old palace? Never floods. Here's your pattern break. We think newer means better. But the Forbidden City proves that's wrong. Sometimes older means smarter. The planning is still studied by architects today. The balance, the materials, the positioning, everything was designed to last centuries. And it worked. If the Forbidden City mastered city building, military engineers created something even more amazing. Wonder number 2, the fortress that never fell. Imagine a fortress so perfect it stayed useful for 600 years without major changes. That's Jiayuguan Fortress. Here's why this matters. Modern military bases become useless in decades. Technology changes. Weapons evolve. Strategies shift. But Jiayuguan? It adapted to everything. The secret was working with nature. The fortress wasn't built on the land. It was built into the land. Mountains became walls. Valleys became traps. Rivers became moats. But here's the clever part. Jiayuguan controlled the Silk Road's most important spot. Every trader, diplomat, and army had to pass through. The fortress made huge money from taxes. Money that funded entire wars. Think of it like owning the only bridge across a river. Everyone who wants to cross pays you. That's the power Jiayuguan had for 6 centuries. The defense systems were genius. Attackers faced not one wall, but many walls. Each layer pushed enemies into kill zones. It was like a deadly maze with no escape. Here's your aha moment. Modern military thinking focuses on big guns. But Jiayuguan proved that smart design beats brute force every time. The fortress never fell because it never fought fair. But the most mind-blowing achievement wasn't military. It was economic. Wonder number 3, the waterway that united an empire. The Grand Canal is the longest man-made waterway in history. But that's not what makes it incredible. What makes it incredible is what it did to China. Before the canal, China was separate regions. Different cultures, different economies, different languages. The Grand Canal connected them all. During the Tang Dynasty, the canal moved 4 million tons of grain every year. That's enough to feed 10 million people. It created the world's first truly connected national economy. But here's the real genius. The canal wasn't just about moving stuff. It was about moving ideas. Technologies spread, cultures mixed, innovation exploded. Think of the Grand Canal as ancient China's internet. It connected far-apart regions into one civilization. It enabled exchange that wouldn't happen again until modern phones and computers. The water engineering still works after more than 1,000 years. Modern canals need constant fixing and rebuilding. The Grand Canal? Still working. Here's your pattern interrupt. We think globalization is modern. But the Grand Canal created the first truly global economy over 1,000 years ago. It connected regions thousands of miles apart. The canal enabled China's golden age of arts and culture. When regions could trade freely, when ideas could spread fast, when people could move easily, civilization bloomed. But even the Grand Canal can't compare to bridges that seem to break the laws of physics. Wonder number 4, bridges that outlasted empires. Let me tell you about the Jiaozhou Bridge, built in 605 AD. That's 1,400 years ago. It's still there. It still works. Cars still drive on it every day. But here's what makes it truly amazing. It's the world's oldest open spandrel stone segmental arch bridge. Those fancy words mean it uses advanced math that Europeans wouldn't learn for another 700 years. This bridge survived 10 major earthquakes, countless floods, wars, invasions, political chaos. Modern bridges need replacing every 50 to 100 years. This bridge lasted 14 centuries. Song Dynasty engineers calculated stone arch math with precision that matches modern computers. They understood weight distribution, stress analysis, and material science at an impossible level for their time. Here's perspective for you. While Song engineers built mathematically perfect stone arches, European builders were still putting flat stones across streams. The gap was enormous. The earthquake and flood resistance comes from flexible design. Just like the Forbidden City, these bridges move with natural forces instead of fighting them. They bend but don't break. Here's your final aha moment. Song Dynasty Bridge. Engineering proves that ancient doesn't mean primitive. These engineers used advanced principles we're only now learning again. The math precision in their construction required knowledge we thought was invented in the Renaissance. But China had it 800 years earlier. These ancient Chinese builders understood something we've completely forgotten. True engineering isn't about the newest materials or latest technology. It's about working with nature instead of fighting it. It's about building for centuries instead of decades. Here's my challenge for you. Next time you see a modern building going up, ask yourself this. Will this building still stand in 600 years? Will it still work? Will it still be beautiful? Because somewhere in China, bridges, palaces, and canals have already answered that question. They've stood the test of time. They've survived disasters that destroyed everything around them. They've outlasted the empires that built them. This knowledge is disappearing faster than we can save it. Every year, we lose more traditional craftsmen. Every year, we forget more ancient techniques. Every year, we depend more on materials and methods that won't last. If this opened your eyes to lost engineering wisdom, smash that like button and subscribe. Every week, I uncover more ancient techniques that put modern construction to shame.